Fred here, welcome back to Gear Obsession channel. I'm trying something new. I'm sort of floating a balloon, trying a new idea here, and I'm calling it Gun News Review. I hope you can read that. Again, this is all new, tried it all out. Anyway, I'm just going to sort of read you some of the things I found interesting in the news for sort of relating to guns in some way or another. So, our first story. The ATF, or the BATFE. Big scandal is brewing called Fast and Furious. Acting Director Kenneth Melson is facing pressure to resign over a poorly run gun trafficking operation, blamed on putting weapons in the hands of a border agent's killers. Operation Fast and Furious, or as it may have been, as it's been called, Project Gunwalker, is becoming a large scandal, fast and most furious. One media outlet is referring to this whole thing as worse than the Iran-Contra. As you all know, the anti-gun brass at the ATF conspired to force gun dealers to sell firearms to criminals who in turn walked the firearms across the border into Mexico and into the hands of dangerous drug lords. The BATFE administration blatantly ignored its own agents' warnings in order to advance their anti-gun agenda. So I'm not going to read the whole story, but just so you all know, thanks to thousands of gun owners, now I lost my place, patriots who took action and called their congressmen the anti-gun zealots, who run the BATF, are facing congressional inquiry. Good job. And of course the director is being highly recommended, or hopefully is getting a lot of pressure to resign. So good on you all for fighting back. Okay, let's lighten it up a little bit. Let's talk about Made in China. Now you're like, what does Made in China have anything to do with guns? Well, you know, all that crap you're buying, not crap, your guns, your knives and everything, a lot of it's made in China, but that may be about to change. And the story goes, in the past decade, real wages for manufacturing workers in China have grown about 12% a year. The hourly cost average, while still significant comparing to the West, is shrinking rapidly. So they're starting to get paid more. You know, I mean, they're building these iPads and building all this stuff, and they can't afford it all. And they're looking at this stuff every day in the factory. You think they're going to start getting pissed. And I know Foxconn even had to deal with a high suicide rate of a lot of their workers because they weren't paying them crap. So what was their answer initially? Put nets around the building so when they jumped off the roof, they wouldn't kill themselves. But I guess you got to eventually start paying them more. So that means labor is going to cost more, and therefore they can't manufacture things as cheaply in China. And I'm going to say a lot. You know, have a drinking game. Every time I say don't do that. You'll be drunk before you make it halfway through. So, and there we go again. Other things that are influencing where things are made, of course, is the rising cost of fuel. So to ship these things back and forth, to ship them out of your country and then ship it back in, or whatever you do, or whatever companies will do, will end up making the item cost a lot more. So anyway, you're going to see a lot of things start changing. Manufacturing is going to have to go to other countries where they have cheap labor. So we might be seeing things made in Cambodia or India or Vietnam now. And, you know, maybe in some cases back in your own country, and in my case in the U.S. So there is Made in the USA. Okay. I'm going to make sure this is changing right. Anthony Weiner is always in the news, and so I need to add it into my little news thingy here. I'm going to mess up my favorite line here. Anthony Weiner is prematurely ejected from Congress. What do you think about that? And you're like, what does that have to do with guns? Well, let's go over Anthony Weiner's gun record. He voted no on prohibiting Gun misuse lawsuits of gun manufacturers. He voted no on prohibiting suing gun makers and sellers for gun misuse. He voted no on decreasing gun waiting period from 3 to 1 day. 3 days to 1. God, I can't talk today. And he got a F rating by the NRA, indicating a pro-gun control voting record. It seems like he has a 100%. So, and he also, I guess, voted to close the gun show loophole. So, he is basically hated by the gun community, as his record shows. So, anyway, he has resigned from Congress in disgrace, but hours after the news conference at which he made the announcement, he was offered an internet job by who, you may ask? By Larry Flynt. How many of you know who Larry Flynt is? Raise your hand. Yeah, Hustler magazine. So he's been offered a nice luxury job in an office in Beverly Hills where he could make more money than he did as Congress working for Hustler magazine. I don't know. He could be... I think that Hustler should use him as a lobbyist up in Congress, since he knows the ins and outs of Congress and he knows ins and outs of his pants. So he could lobby for the porn community. I don't know. I think he's probably pretty suited for that. Okay, Ohio is making the news the past week. They've passed quite a few new gun laws. One is... Oh, forgot to hit the clicker. Alright, Ohio. Lawmakers in Ohio have voted to allow gun owners to carry guns in bars. Yay! You're not excited? What do you mean? Oh, I say you carry in bars to getting drunk. No. They're not saying, yeah, it's legal to go get drunk or carrying, you know, a weapon. What they're saying is, like, let's say you go into a restaurant. Like, you want to go, I'm trying to think of a restaurant where they serve alcohol. I don't know. But gun owners could not, you know, go in with their family to a restaurant because they served alcohol in the place. That's what this is about. It's about responsible gun owners. Believe me, gun owners are a lot more responsible than your average citizen, because they have been FBI checked, fingerprinted, and training and everything else, so they tend to be the more responsible of our community. And hopefully, if crap's hitting the fan, I would like to have a concealed carry gun owner around me, and I would like to be one, but my state is effed up. Anyway, I lost my place. Also in Ohio, a new gun bill, also poised to be signed, includes something unusual in Ohio, and it's called a do-over. Past violators of firearm in vehicle rules. Senate Bill 17 would allow concealed carry permit holders to take guns into bars, restaurants, stadium that serve alcohol, unless those venues post prohibited signs. So I mean, if they're, you know, a private restaurant or anything, if the owner doesn't want gun-toting concealed carry people to be in his restaurant, he can post it. And you know what? If you're a gun owner, don't go there. They need to lose your business. That'll show them. Okay, so last story. I'm going to sort of always make a fun story if you all like this. So I'm calling it Gun Fun. Gun Fun. And actually, someone sent me this in my email today. Thank you. You know who I'm talking to. And it's U.S. gun statistics. The number of physicians, doctors, I'm trying to say, in the U.S. is 700,000. Remember that number, 700,000. Accidental deaths caused by physicians or doctors per year is 120,000. Wow, that's a pretty high percentage, ain't it? Accidental deaths per doctor is 0.171, so not a very good track record, huh? And those statistics are courtesy of the Department of Health and Human Services. Now let's talk about gun owners. The number of gun owners in the U.S. is about 80 million. 80 million. The number of accidental gun deaths per year, all age groups, is 1,500. That means the number of accidental deaths per gun owner is 0.000118. So statistically, doctors are approximately 9,000 times more dangerous than gun owners. So remember, guns don't kill people. Doctors do. So here's my little fun fact. A little thing down here. It says, out of concern for public at large, I have withheld the statistics on lawyers for fear the shock would cause people to panic and seek medical attention. So there it is. Gun news review, I think is what I'll call it, unless somebody suggests something better. But every once in a while I think I want to do this. So let me know what you think, if you think this is useful, fun. If you're hearing things that you haven't heard before and we're getting the word out about gun-related items or things similar, that you could hear it here. I know there's a lot of other people doing it, and there's a lot of sources out there that you could go to, but some people just don't have the time, but they're watching my stupid channel, so you could hear it here. So let me know what you think. Should I keep on doing it, or am I just wasting my time? Thank you very much for joining me here again on the Gear Obsession channel. Thank you, friends, viewers, and subscribers. I greatly appreciate you all, as well as police, doctors, and firemen, and public servants, and those who serve in the military and who are serving. Have a great evening.